What's good, Myron?
Yo.
So I got 2 questions for you. First question, what's a good vetting process to find, a girl that isn't, I guess, ran through, isn't for the streets and stuff, because I know you say self-improvement, looks max, focus on our craft as men, so we can get our money up, our grind up, but at the same time and stuff, it gets lonely, the gym,
of course.
The gym can only help you so much. Don't want to turn to pornography or drugs and stuff, but at the same time, because I had an ex-girlfriend who I still think about and stuff because I was her first,
I understand.
So, I made her a woman, so now she's gone. That's somebody else now. That's gone.
How old are you?
I'm 21, I'm a student here.
Yeah.
What's a good vetting process to find queens? Because they're not gonna reveal themselves. I feel like you gotta become high value. You wanna have exclusivity as a man because we don't want ran through. We want something that's pristine. We want that prime rib. But
yeah, and there's no, and I would say like there's no choice nowadays, dude. Like if you're not of a higher status or you don't have your shit together, it's gonna be very difficult to find a girl that's gonna submit to you that isn't a 304, that doesn't have bad habits. Like for you to be able to demand that from a woman nowadays, unless you're gonna go and be a passport bro, that's another option, which a lot of guys are going down that road. It's really tough in a westernized country. But to answer your question, man, as far as like vetting a woman, this is why it's so important where you got to be with her for like 6 months to a year, dude. There's no way around it. You have to be with her for 6 months to a year and put her through her vetting phase before you even think about, making her a main girl. Because unfortunately, modern women have so many fucking bad habits nowadays that you're gonna have to take that period of time to deprogram all those bad habits. Now I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh my God, that's so evil. What do you mean deprogram? Like something is like, I'll give you an example of what I mean by this so people really understand. Because like when I just say it out like that, it sounds horrible, but let me explain. Average women nowadays think it's appropriate to go to the club when they have a boyfriend. Average women think it's okay to put sexy photos of themselves on the internet when they have a boyfriend, right? Average women think it's okay to retain their male friends when they have a boyfriend. They think it's okay to talk to them, give out their numbers, etc. And then what they'll tell you is, oh, you're just being insecure, that magic word insecure. So unfortunately, since a lot of women think that this is okay or acceptable behavior, you're gonna have to be with her and then instruct her or let her know, look, this is not appropriate behavior with me. And you never force her to do anything. This is the key. You're not gonna tell her, stupid, do this or else what? You don't do that. What you simply tell her is, this is not something I'm willing to tolerate. And then you let her decide what she's gonna do. You don't control women. You control yourself and you control the people around you. She decides if she wants to assimilate. That's how it goes. You never tell her or force her to do anything. You just tell her what you're gonna put up with or what you're not. And if a girl likes you, she will change. She will go ahead and go on your fucking program and then you don't have to force anything. So, and I'll give you guys an example of what I mean by this. Think of yourself as a prestigious law firm, okay? Or a prestigious university. When you go ahead and apply to a certain school, you have standards, they have to have extracurriculars in point, they have to have a certain grade point average, etc. Like you are that university. You wanna come here? Cool, you gotta adhere to the standard. They don't want to adhere to the standard? Get the fuck out of here. We got other people that are waiting. That's how men have to treat themselves. The problem though is a lot of you motherfuckers act like DeVry. Just call in, you could go ahead and get a degree online. Yeah, let's go, everyone's accepted, right? So, you know what I mean? Or like Phoenix University online. So if men start treating themselves like a prestigious job or like a prestigious university or a prestigious law firm, women are gonna understand, oh, I better come correct. And then they're gonna change their bad habits. And look, I know how women are in America. They're gonna have these bad habits off rip. It's your job to deprogram them out of them. Now, with that said, there's some girls that are too far gone. If she's a 304, she's a has too many bodies or whatever, you're gonna have to make peace with the fact that this girl is not redeemable a lot of the times. Because, another controversial take here, promiscuous women are not good partners. I mean, I think that's kind of obvious, but even if she was promiscuous in her past, that's a problem for you because for a girl to become promiscuous, she has to have certain traits and habits that are not gonna be conducive to a good relationship with you, right? They don't have discernment. They tend to be alcoholics. They tend to be drug addicts. They tend to be on some bullshit that can fuck your life up. So 6 months to a year, that will let you like see her patterns and then hopefully help her get on your program. And then if she adheres to what she's supposed to do, man, yeah, dude, like reward her with the relationship.
All right, what's up? I saw you before. I got a picture with you and all. I appreciate it. I like what you do. There's some stuff I could debate about you that you say like I don't really agree with, but mostly all the stuff you say I really fuck with it. It's
Sure.
true. My thing is kind of like the second dude that came up here with the whole the one that was the virgin, whatever. I'm not trying to call him out or anything. I'm just saying that guy that when his question. So how do I get out of a situation kind of like that? You said there's a lot of guys stuck in that situation. I'm low-key stuck in that situation. What is some advice for me to get?
What part? Like, you're a virgin or you're?
No, I got a body. It's my girl, but
Okay.
it's to the point where I kind of got to do shit for it, and I'm not trying to be in that position. But I'm not kind of like pussy with it, but like kind of.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, so it's very simple.
I am.
Yeah, you are,
What is
bro.
it? But no,
You
I
are.
respect
You
it.
just the step one is identifying the problem, and the problem is that
of course.
It's very simple. And look, a lot of guys are in this situation, bro. Let me explain this to you guys, okay? This is how a relationship works. One party always cares more than the other party. 9 out of 10 times, it's the men that care more than the woman does about keeping the relationship. And in order to do, and the problem there is because there's a sexual market value imbalance. What I mean by this is, how old are you?
I'm 18.
18, okay, and how old is she?
She's 18 as well.
Okay, so she has more value than you do. And the reason why is because an 18-year-old man is useless to society versus an 18-year-old woman is priceless to society because she's probably going to be at her peak from now till about 24, right? She could get on a yacht, you can't. That's just the reality. She could go to Miami with no money in her pocket, you can't. So the fact that she has more sexual market value, you have to make up for it by being a simp to some degree. This ends up happening a lot of times for guys. So look, you can continue to be in this relationship and, kind of learn the hard way that you're going to have to, comply or to get sexual access, which a lot of young guys do. Or you can break things off, work on yourself, become stronger, get more money, increase your status, wait a little bit, and then you could go ahead and, be 27, 28, 29 and go get that 18-year-old girl where you control the frame and you tell her what to do. Because I'll tell you this, women are terrible people when they have the leverage. They are terrible fucking people. They treat you like shit. They emasculate you. They make you do things for sexual access. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't mean to put you on blast. But every single guy in here has probably been through this bullshit with a woman before where if she feels like she's better than you or she has more sexual market value than you do and she feels like she's doing you a favor, she's going to let you, number one, know that, and then she's going to make your life miserable. And then on the part 3 is going to be she's going to cheat on you and not feel bad about it because she's like, oh, I could do better. So I think men need to be aware of this, and this is why it's so important to get experience with women because, and this is, I wish if the guy's still here from before the Christian virgin, not to insult him, but like a lot of the guardrails that kept women away from doing stupid shit, they're gone. Shame, religion, the family, institution, patriarchy, all these things have been absolutely destroyed thanks to feminism because in order for feminism to thrive, we must remove institutions that keep women in check. And since these institutions are basically gone, women feel like they can do anything and they don't feel guilty about it because we have like music, we have a culture that tells women, know your worth, you do what you want. There's no such thing as, we're gonna go against slut shaming. We're gonna have a slut walk. So know that all of these things are out there against you. And if you don't increase your sexual market value, you're going to pay the price for it. And you're only 18, so you're still in the beginning of your journey. But just understand, throughout for your teens, all the way into your early 20s, you're going to be dealing with bullshit with women until you get your value up. It is what it is. And then here's the thing. Let's say you become a millionaire tomorrow. Still not going to save you. Want to know why? Because you don't have the prerequisite experience to understand how to deal with women properly, to tell them to shut the fuck up when you need to be able to, get in the gym and train, to be able to have that authority in that frame. That comes from experience, man. So the reason why I know this shit is because I've been in your shoes. I've been played by girls. I've been shit on by girls. I've been denied. I've been rejected. This wisdom comes from a lot of fucking L's, right? But if you take enough L's, you can make a W out of it. So that's what we're doing now. So,
I appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Thank you.
Tell her to make you a sandwich, bro, when you get home. See how that goes. If she fails the test, you might need to reconsider what you're doing. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. So I just really wanted to ask you a question about being an overall man. So as a highly successful man, what advice would you give me as a 16-year-old high school graduate on how to balance humility with achievement while also staying focused on my purpose in life and not losing sight of it as I grow?
Delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is the name of the game as a man. Fortunately for us, right, it's a good and a bad. The good is, you're not on the same time clock as a woman, but the bad is that time clock is a lot longer. And for us to acquire our value, it takes time and resources and like us actually putting in work. So for men, dude, I would say like delayed gratification, no weed, no drugs, no booze, work to make 6 figures per year. That's got to be the goal. I wouldn't even partake in getting involved in any type of fun or vacations until you're making 6 figures per year. getting a girl to take you seriously, nowadays, you got to be on point. Get in the gym, become a competent individual, and I think from there we can kind of have the foundation and go from there. But delayed gratification is the name of the game. And it's good that you're asking this question at 16. You're a lot wiser than I was at that age. But that's what I would say. And then avoid, especially for you as a young guy, avoid problematic people. When we're teenagers and we're young, we tend to hang out with like who's cool. And I'll just keep it real with you. As a young black guy, because I was in your shoes too, don't hang out with the niggas, bro. The people that want to gangbang and all that bullshit, stay away from all that shit, man. All of it.
Yeah, I don't hang around people like that. I like hanging around people who share a goal-oriented mindset, who are actually about that business. Like my brother and my other P partner right there, them my niggas, man. I love them.
Good. That's what you want, people around you that are going to be successful or on their way up, man. Always avoid guys that are, like they always say, if you're around 4 idiots, you're going to be the fifth. But if you're around 4 millionaires, you're going to be the fifth. So that's how it goes.
All right, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No worries, man. No worries. And that's great that 16-year-old already have his head on straight. Good stuff, man.
What's up, Myron? Have you ever talked to the Homath guy?
Yeah, we've had him on the show, actually.
Oh, okay. I love the way he explains the paradigm of attractiveness between women.
Yeah. Check it out on our channel. We had him on a couple months back.
Is it ever okay to call a woman fat?
All the time.
Is it?
I wish we had more guys that told them that they were fat, because then we wouldn't. Dude, something like, I literally had the numbers for this. Something like 70% of women are overweight. So like 70% of women are overweight in the United States, and I think 42% of them are obese.
Yeah. Yeah, hypergamy is just as relevant as ever.
Yeah.
Do you believe the universe has a purpose? Like we're moving towards something. Everything that's going on is like moving towards like a telos of the universe. Is that part of like Muslim?
Yeah, no, I mean, for, very similar, right? There's going to be, we're all being judged in front of God, and, what we do on this earth is going to, decide whether we go to heaven or hell. And I do believe in God. I do think that if you don't believe in God, probably something is wrong with you. And, and I believe in the sanctity of human life, and I love all people, but I understand that the differences between people, and I understand the inherent differences between men and women. And I think, for us to, have women at their best, we must put them where they excel, which is raising of children, having families, and I think that is what we're here on earth to do. So, that's kind of what my take is on it.
Thank you, Myron.
No worries, man. Thank you.
A majority of women chasing a minority of men, right? That's what you said earlier?
Yes.
So with trends women won't really date men who are earning less than them, or like those relationships don't tend to last. They own consumer, most of the market is female or spending.
So
and then you look at other trends of
so I have
people in our age.
I'll explain what I mean by this. So we have what I call a female delusion calculator, right? And we show it on the show. Anybody that watches the show knows what I'm talking about. And it's probably the most accurate assessment of men in the United States. It goes off of the CDC, the U.S. Census Bureau, a bunch of different stat points of men in America. And overwhelmingly, whenever we ask women, what do you want? It's somewhere between 5'10" and above in height, right? 6 foot preferably, $100,000 per year, not obese, not married. Off these factors alone, this puts the guy in the top 1 to 2% of men. And that's what a majority of women are looking for. And the scary part is a lot of times it'll be average girls we ask this stuff to, and they'll say this is what they want. Now, let's be honest here. Are they going to get all these guys? No. Are they going to go ahead and sometimes date a guy that doesn't meet all these metrics? Of course. But what I think guys need to understand is the ideal, right, is the top pinnacle of guys. So I think every single man in here needs to be aware of this and bring themselves as close as possible to that. I think every single guy can get themselves to at least a 7 in the sexual market value scale by going to the gym, earning 6 figures per year, being a competent speaker, being able to convey yourself in a very, what I call, masculine manner, where when you talk to women, you speak in the active voice, you don't speak in the passive voice. You don't tell her things like, well, I don't know about XYZ. It's very decisive and firm in what you say and what you do, especially when you talk to women. Women are very responsive to that when you're not sure of yourself. So I think if guys can do these things and have these things mastered, they'll be in a much better position to deal with women. And unfortunately for you guys, and it really sucks that you guys have to deal with this, I'm very sensitive to this for young men. You guys have to compete with Instagram. When I was growing up, we didn't have to compete with fucking Instagram. Like I didn't have to worry about, at least in the early stages in my early 20s, like I didn't have to worry about like a rapper or a NBA player like DMing a girl that I was talking to because it was still in its infancy. Now, with the way social media is or whatever, an average woman has access to like top tier guys that can get flown out within a day or two. So this is unprecedented levels of access that women have to higher status men. And the problem is that women base what they're worth off of what they have access to. It's very important that you guys understand that. So women don't go off of their real sexual market value. They go off of what they have access to. So a girl that's a 5, if she's talking to an NBA player, is gonna think she's an 8. When in reality, she's a fucking 2 or a 5, right? Depending on if she has makeup or not. So I think it's very important that you guys understand that this is what you're up against. So you have no choice, guys, but to be way above average. In my day, we could have been average or been okay. You guys, cooked if you're average. Cooked, dude, like cooked. Matter of fact, I would argue it's better for you to take your prime years and work on increasing your sexual market value than being an average guy and entering the dating marketplace, because it's gonna be miserable. You're gonna get flaked on. They're gonna treat you like shit. They're gonna use you. They're gonna save you in their phone as Uber. You're gonna try to kiss her and she's gonna say, not today. Meanwhile, she's gonna go fuck some fucking Nigerian or some shit. That's a prince. So, like, you guys need to like know this is what you're up against, right? If you guys don't want to be, if you guys that are religious, fine, ignore this shit. But understand that this is what's out there and this is what you're up against.
I guess the question becomes like, if these trends do continue though, and like guys, you know, don't take your advice or whatnot, would it become like a self-solving issue where like, you know, women like the childless cat ladies and like these, you know, crazy women just don't reproduce?
Well, it's already happening now.
Like, the same people.
AI is already
keep having
coming there.
kids?
They're making sex robots right now. And I think, I predict it's going to be faster than what we thought. I predicted before like 10 to 20 years. Dude, the robots now are starting to look more and more like human-like. And the thing with men is, men are the ones that, you know, we're the innovators. So since a lot of guys are not getting laid, a majority of guys aren't getting laid, they're gonna go ahead and try to solve their reproductive problem. And what we're seeing now is like guys are starting to ramp up production of sex robots. And at some point, that's where we're gonna go, man. I think that's the future. Now, hopefully, I want all of you guys to find a woman that you like and get married and have kids. But let's be honest here. A lot of guys don't have the capability and the skill set to attract modern day women. So a lot of guys are going to have to, you know, deal with fucking robots, unfortunately. That's where we're going.
I hope you're wrong.
Dude, I wish I was wrong too, man. But like that's where we're going.